Hey everybody, it's Cynthia from Boris Basement, and today I want to talk with you about Amazon FBA. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably already know what the program is, but basically it's the program where you sell on Amazon in the same way that you would on eBay, except that you send all your merchandise to Amazon. So they basically store it and pick it and send it to buyers. And obviously, the biggest advantage to this is that people who have Amazon Prime or people who spend more than $35 get free shipping on that item because it's already in Amazon's warehouse. So they're more likely to pick your item if it's priced right than an item where they have to pay to ship. They're also more likely to buy because um, they may feel that it's because it's Amazon Prime, they feel that it's a better, they're more comfortable with it. They feel more secure knowing it's coming straight from Amazon. But here's the thing, and this is why I've got a picture of a wallet with money in it. Not, you're going to think that's because I started Amazon FBA and made a ton of money. No, I started Amazon FBA and right away I learned a lesson that somehow either I missed or no one ever taught me, which was that you can have sales on Amazon and still end up owing Amazon money. That's right. You can owe more in fees than you made in profit. And that was not a happy reality. Let me tell you a little bit about how that worked. Come on. And I want to explain that I'm new to Amazon FBA, so please take that with you going forward for everything else I have to say in this video. Before jumping in, I watched a lot of videos. I listened to a ton of videos, podcasts. I listened to Thrifting for Profit, one of my favorite, and I finally decided to take the plunge. We've been selling on eBay for a really long time, and I thought, oh, how hard can this be? Yeah, right. And I often heard people say that there's a great big difference, like a mindset difference, when you're sourcing and selling for Amazon than when you're sourcing and selling for eBay. And boy, I found out that was true too. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened because I hope that if you're going to try FBA or if you're already doing FBA and you're wondering why you're not making enough money, this could be part of your problem. And like I said, I didn't recall anybody ever really explaining before. So hopefully I'm going to save you some grief. We're going to look at this Blues Clues DVD. I got one I had a local grocery store that was going out of business and they had a handful of DVDs, not a lot of them, but they had them marked down to like 75% off. So I got the DVD for about $1, 50 somewhere in there. So it was brand new, sealed, and I figured, perfect, it's Blues Clues. How can I lose with Blues Clues? So it was one of the first things that I sent in to Amazon. Um, Now, when you do this, you have to pick the price that you want to sell it for, which sounds super, but you know. So let's take a look at the pricing. Right here, we've got, excuse my yawning, it's really late, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So the list price is $14.98. Forget that. Nobody ever pays list price on Amazon. Amazon is selling it on Prime for $7.42. So you can get it straight from Amazon, brand new, no questions asked, boom, done. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Down here, we have 31 new from $3.77, which is quite a difference from the 742 Prime, and 30 used from a penny. Now, I probably should have let that penny dissuade me, but I thought mine was new, so I didn't worry about it. Let's look at the 31 new. So somebody comes along, they want to buy this. Now, I have to say, I do a lot of shopping on Amazon, and I do a lot of my shopping with FBA. So hang on a minute, won't let me move this. Hold on one sec. Okay, we're back. So I'm familiar with the third-party sellers on Amazon. I've been a third-party seller for a while, but not through FBA, and I've bought a lot from third-party sellers. So I figured I kind of had this figured out. So here we are in the section where it details everything. And again, we're going to forget used because this wasn't used, and I don't even want to talk about that. But here we have our options from the sellers. I can spend $7.67, remember, and get it straight from Amazon. Free 2-day shipping if I've got Amazon Prime. But I could also buy it from this company, Mighty Silver, for a few cents less, 7.42, and it's still new and it's still going to go on Prime, which means if I have Amazon Prime, like I said, I get it for free. Now, if those were gone, say they sold out, then we go to Movie Mars, who is selling it. It's again new, factory sealed. They're selling it for $3.77 plus an additional $4 shipping. And since it's not Prime, it doesn't, even if you put $35 worth of items in your cart, you're still going to have to pay the shipping on this because they are shipping this, as you can see here, from North Carolina and they're shipping it themselves. Now, you can see right away why people would want to not do this if they had another option. They can get it cheaper and they know it's going to come right away from an Amazon warehouse. So they don't have to worry about, do I know Movie Mars? Are they good? Are they bad? I'm sure they're a great seller. I've never bought from them. I've got 96% positive. I'm sure they're super, and this is probably a great deal. But right now, there's a better deal, especially if you've got Prime or if you are going to spend that $35. If you're not spending $35 and you don't have the Prime, it kind of almost doesn't matter because you're going to have to pay the shipping anyway. Now, so I come in with mine and I have to make a choice. Now, here, let me also say one more thing. The prices have changed since I listed mine, and this happens a lot on Amazon. Prices swing quite a bit depending on people when new sellers come in and buyers who want to, undercut other sellers. It gets really crazy. So when I came in, um, this was a lot lower than $7, I think. Honestly, I can't remember exactly, and I can't find the exact paperwork, but here's kind of what happened. So I put it, let's say, for somewhere in the neighborhood. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put you guys on hold one more second. Hang on. I just realized it's silly of me to tell you to hang on because time doesn't change for you. I had you on pause. Anyway, I wanted to go back and look at the dollars because it is as I remember it. And this really shows you how things fluctuate. I put mine up for $3.50, which was only going to get me. I remember I paid like $1.50 for it. So it was only going to make like about $1.50 anyway. Um, but that's a lot less than Amazon Prime, which I wouldn't have done. I don't know, there's something weird here, but let's just say I put it up for a little bit cheaper than whatever Amazon was selling it for. And again, it would have been going with free shipping. It sold right away, fast. It was like one of the first things to sell out of everything I sent in. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, yay, that's fantastic. So then I go and I look at my reports after it sells and find out that I had $4.50 some cents in fees. Now, again, I come from the eBay world where fees on a $3.50 item is around 30, it's 10%. So yeah, it's like, it's under a dollar. This was insane. This was like $4. Now I had heard that Amazon, fees were higher, but that it made up for it because of the way you could sell and you could sell in bulk. And plus I didn't have to ship it. And this is the part that kind of messed me up. So we'll get to that in a second. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I don't have to ship this item. So no problem, but it doesn't matter because basically when this item sold, I owed Amazon $1.50-ish. My math is crazy, but about $1.50 for selling it. How insane is that? So right away, I realized I had a problem. And so I looked around a little bit and I found a form in the reports in area where I could go through, I guess the inventory area, I could go through and see what the fees were going to be. Now, I was dumb and I did this. I sent things in before I really understood the fee structure. So when I looked at the fees, I saw that I had several items that were going to sell at a loss. And this isn't even talking about what I paid for the item. This is strictly talking about how much I sold it for versus how many fees. So the profit, what I paid for it on top of that is even crazier. I hope you're following this. Anyway, I realized that there was a whole bunch of these. So I upped the price of a bunch of items, fully realizing that this might knock me out of, the low spot and getting bought, but nobody wants to play that race to the bottom game. So I did that and I bumped everything up so I would have at least a little bit of profit because some things didn't have, a lot of room to play. So I thought, okay, I'm good. So four more items sold, including a Blu-ray that went for like $11. So I thought, finally, now this is working. This is really, really working. In the meantime, I was continuing to send in packages. Now, when you send with eBay, when somebody buys something, I pay for the postage through my computer, through PayPal, and then I mail it, and I'm done. Amazon, when I send to Amazon, I buy the postage through Amazon, but it doesn't actually pay right away. It puts that money account against my profits, which is super if you're selling a lot of product because you don't have to put the money out ahead of time. It's going to come off your profits. Yeah, not. So I got excited about the FBA thing and I was like, oh, this is good. My first one went in. I had some sales. I want to do some more. So I sent in more DVDs and CDs, a few books, not too many. I couldn't really find too many things that were good on books. And then I started preparing a big box of games and other toys. I also learned very quickly that sometimes Amazon wants you to sell your product, send your product to different warehouses. So where I thought I was all clever and it fit everything exactly in the box, then it was like, nope, you have to split that. So that's two sets of postage charges. So what happens is the product goes, and it takes a good while to get, depending to which warehouse it's going, it takes a good while to get there. And then it gets checked in. And somewhere around then is when they seem to charge you for the postage. So what happened then was I had sold four items and I had potentially about $19 in that Amazon owed me after the fees were taken away. But I had shipped more than $25 worth of postage. I paid postage for $25 worth of postage to send more product to Amazon. So that 20 some came right off my profit and I was back in the hole again. So I owed them at some point last, I guess 2 weeks ago. I think they do this every 2 weeks. They took $6 out of my credit card. They charged me $6. Yesterday they charged me another $13. So at this point, I I not only am not making money on Amazon, I'm losing money. I'm actually paying them to sell things, which is still having such a hard time getting my brain around it. Now, my theory is that eventually this will correct itself because assuming that things will continue to sell, now they haven't since then. I sold four items and nothing else has sold since, but I also just got a whole bunch of games and puzzles just got checked in, and I'm assuming, especially as we get closer to Christmas, those things are going to sell. But if I stop sending shipments, which at this point I am going to stop sending shipments, my postage is all covered now. So everything that comes in now going forward is profit, presuming that I don't have the fee upside downness again. So as long as I'm careful with my dollar amounts, my prices, I should, crossing my fingers, should actually get paid from Amazon in the next pay period and certainly by next month. So what else was really weird is I started off saying I was just going to kind of test this. And when my next shipment, my last final shipment arrives in a couple of days, it's due to be there, I will have 50 items. And I actually kind of cheated. I still have a couple more sitting here that I keep going, oh, I should send in. So I went from, I'm just going to test a few items to 50. And now I can see how addictive this gets for people. It's so simple in that way to just pack everything in one box and send it. Uh, but I I forgot what I was going to say. I guess it's this it's this thing that once you know you have products that sell and you start to understand that inventory, you can keep your inventory levels up by continuously sending product in, and again, the profit will pay for your shipping, so you won't be upside down. Uh, Part of my other problem is I'm selling things that don't have a really great profit margin to begin with. Things that that really experienced sellers would probably not bother with. DVDs and CDs that I'm going to be lucky if I get make 50 cents on them. And some of them, honestly, when I take out what I paid for the item, the profit's probably going to be zero. But it was an experiment. I wanted to try it. And I've heard people say that you can't really conduct an experiment by sending in, 5 items. Probably can't conduct a good experiment sending in 50 items. But that's where I'm at the moment. I really can't afford to send in more stuff. So right now I've got a lot of, like I said, a lot of DVDs. The CDs are kind of all over the place. Some of them are CDs we had here at home that I was cleaning out. Those are going to be hard to sell. They could sit there. And then I've got some newer stuff. The couple of lessons I've learned is, except in very rare cases, buy things that are still sealed. A new DVD sells for so much more than a used one. Like, look at this here, this $7, which isn't even that much compared to a penny for used, and then just shipping basically. Um, so I'm trying to stick with that. If I find a DVD that's particularly rare, I'll go for it. But I already broke my rule today. I bought a DVD that when I did a quick scan, I thought was rare, and it turned out it really wasn't. So that was a bad buy on my part. Um, the other thing I learned is Amazon has an app that you put on your iPhone and it will show you the fees. It's really brilliant. You scan your product and it shows you what the fees are. And somehow I'm still messing it up. I don't know how I'm still doing it. I think again it's a little bit eBay mentality because I scanned a bunch of DVDs today while I was at the Goodwill, and a lot of them would come back and say, there's $3 after fees. It's like $3 profit, $4 profit. And I think, oh, that's great. Like $4 profit that's super. I don't have to ship it. It just goes in the box. I don't have to individually mail it to the people. But I kind of forgot that I had to pay $3 to buy it from Goodwill because there's DVDs are kind of expensive. Um, and when I say expensive, I mean we're talking about used open DVDs, you know, movies that everybody has for $3. $4 actually, $3.99. So then I'd have no profit. And if I miscalculated the shipping, the fees, I would again owe. And then the final part, which I was aware of, but I'm not really sure how this is all going to play out, is at a certain point, if things don't sell, I will get charged a storage fee at Amazon. I also discovered the ugly, ugly truth about oversized products. I tried to send a puzzle that I didn't think was oversized, but apparently was, and they made me ship that in its own separate box. So, like, that's going to be a loss too. Anyway, you're tired of looking at this Blue's Clues screen right now, and I had meant to throw many more graphics, and I never got a chance to do that. Here, I'll put the dollars. I'll put the dollar sign, the wallet back up. So the warning to anybody who's new and wants to try Amazon FBA is really, 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 really read your reports. Read the inventory report that shows the fees matched up against what you are charging. And if you're a small seller like me, do not try to be the bottom price. You're never going to compete with these guys. You're going to go low, they're just going to go lower than you. And you're going to start this war. And you're going to you're going to screw yourself out of any profit, and you may, like I said, make it worse. You may owe Amazon. So don't do it. Um, just go out there and put the prices up a little bit more and try it definitely, but do watch your reports because I want you to make a profit, not owe that money. I want to see that money going into your wallet, not coming out of your wallet when you sell Amazon FBA.